Hi guys, it's Belle here and I am back for day 7 of #CreepOnJune, created by the wonderful Tracy Fox. All links to her YouTube, Etsy and website will be down below in my description box, so please do check those out. That is where you can find the links for the stunning Nevermore ledger kit that we are using this month, and on her website you will also find the calendar. If you click on the day of that calendar, it will take you to the creator of that day for this collaboration. And believe me guys, you really need to be following those people because there is so much inspiration out there. It's just amazing. So go subscribe to them, show them some love, and you are going to get so much inspiration in return. So before we get on to today's make, gave you a little sneaky peek, I want to show you what I did yesterday. So I did do a little bit extra. So first of all, I added some black splatter on here and on the tag. There's a little bit of black splatter, and what you can also see on here, let me do that, is that I've come on with a script stamp top and bottom and used vintage photo embossing glaze for that. And then I just added a little bit, I don't know if it's showing up, but I added a little bit of gloss to these candles to give them a shimmer. I don't think I did anything. Oh, and I added a tab. Don't think I did anything in there. And then inside, I added lots of black splatter all over the pages. I also added some red splatter because I'm thinking if this was Dr. Frankenstein's ledger and he was writing in it as he was doing his work, then maybe a little bit of blood in places. So I added some black splatter, some red splatter. I added some more of the script, but just in vintage sepia that I'd added to the front. I did add in this card. I cut it down, rounded the corners, added some black splatter and backed it. And then I made a tiny tag for that pocket. It's using some of the Tim Holtz paper, although I backed it. We've got a tab here that I've added a metal cog to and a metal brad. And then I've done some more of that script embossing in the vintage photo, even though the writing on the back is script. I actually think I used, this was the scrap left over from day, I want to say day 4's make. It was the vampire one. And then I've added a potion bottle on there. Oh, and a little bit of tape and some stains, some stenciling that looks like, you know, he's put down a cup or something on there. And yes, it looks so much better now. I really, really like it. And we're going to leave it at that. So that was day 6. So I just wanted to show you, as I said in the end of that video, my brain wasn't braining anymore. So I had to stop and think about a few things. And then felt the inspiration. So sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you just have to walk away from a project for a little while and then come back to it. So today's one, these, let's move all this. These are the bases in the kit for day 7. And oh my goodness, this kind of burnt rusty orange with all these circles on it. Oh, delish. Now, orange isn't one of my go-to colours to craft with, except for that time of year, spooky season, or sort of harvest season. But this kind of really burnt orange, oh, love it. And we're going to do, I think, again, I'm not completely sure how this is going to go. I've only roughly thought about things in my head. But we're going to do a pocket or a tuck that goes at the top of a page. And then I want part of it to flip open. And then I don't know what we're going to do to the next part. So this is going to be the bit that we use at the top of the page. As always, I don't put my pieces edge to edge. I always leave a border because it just leaves space for your journal to be able to open and close properly when you are using it. So we're going to cut this down. Honestly, I only have a very rough idea. But today today we're going topsy-turvy again, backwards and forwards where we should in the story. This would be happening a lot further on in the story. He's just yesterday he met Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. And I'm trying to work out how I want this. So he's just met Dr. Frankenstein in yesterday's. But today he's going to be on this hunt for the Lycanthrope, the werewolf. So realistically, in the story, he would have by this point have probably met up with Van Helsing, or maybe he's on his way, I'm not clear yet, to Van Helsing. This is going to need to be backed to Van Helsing. And on the way, he's hearing stories about a monster. Men who change into monsters on the full moon. And this is going to catch Poe's attention because I want this tat coming over. Now, the image that I want to use is actually, let me move this, is actually this one. I've printed it on acetate. Oh, look at him. He looks a bit like I was going to say a man in the woods, but you know, like a lumberjack or something with his beard and everything. I don't know. So this needs to be big enough that this will fit in, which means realistically I can have it to about here. And let's see what that's like lengthwise. Yeah, I wanted a bit coming off the bottom anyway, so that's good. Yeah, so he's on the hunt for these creatures that seem to be able to turn into beasts, wolves. And because he's thinking in his head, well, you know, if they are, do I want that to be an up? I think I might want it to be an up. That might be fun. Yeah. He's thinking, well, I mean, he loves his beloved, but if this could be a way to bring her back, I mean, can he put up with once a month her turning into a wolf and going howling into the woods? Probably, if it means that she is going to be, that's going to need to be cut down because I wanted to use that image. I mean, does it matter if that comes down a little bit? If necessary, I could add a little bit more. We'll see. And then, do I want a little pocket? That's what we're wondering. Possibly, I had all these ideas of what I was going to use, but we're going to use this. Let's get started. Let's back this. So I'm going to just back this with some... Do I want book page? What do I want? Let me see. So I have backed that on some book page, and I have also inked around it with some ground espresso. I feel like this is a brand new pad, but I also feel like it's not as juicy as it should be. Okay, and now what I want to do is I have this little die, and I'm thinking of, first of all, we need to back this. I don't know if I want it backed with something fun like some scrapbook paper. I mean, this is Tim Holtz again, and do I really want to cover up the back of that when it's so beautiful? We have got paper from the kit, and I haven't used that yet. I don't want that one. So I found this paper, which obviously has lots of the orange and black, but then I also found some book page. The thing is, when it flips up, it'll be upside down, but will that matter? Let's use the book page. I like the book page. And maybe that was too much orange with the amount of orange that this is going to be. So we're going to chop this. I also need to think about a flip. That's what I need to think about. So do I add a little bit more so this can flip up and down? Like so. So that it can flip up and down behind there. I'll probably stitch at the top of this anyway. So we need to cut here and we need to cut here. So yes, he's gone on the hunt. Not a bear hunt, but a wolf hunt. Sorry, that's left over from years of working in, well, primary school, we call it here in the UK, where we would often sing with the kids, "We're going on a bear hunt." If you're here in the UK, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right, I think today we're going to glue it just at the bottom. Just there. But, yes. So we're going to glue that. And then this is going to come on and it'll be kind of here. So I am going to die cut this out by, if you haven't seen my other videos, by just gluing it at the bottom and you've got both pages, it means that when I die cut this out, we'll have the same image both sides, and I can still put my window, whatever I'm putting in the window, in without having to worry everything's cut the same size. Yep, so that is now cut out. I feel like Poe would be thinking that these wolves that he's hearing about still maintain, there's my scissors, still maintain more of their humanity. And there are some images in the kit that make me chuckle because they're cute werewolf guys in suits and things. It makes me think of Hotel Transylvania. It gives me that kind of vibes, the animated movie. And I feel like that's what Poe thinks that they are. So we'll probably do one with one of those at some point. Or maybe even if I make a pocket here, maybe there'll be one of those in the pocket, because that's what he's thinking. And then he's meeting people that are like, no. Does he see one for himself? I don't know. I haven't got to that bit yet. I definitely think when he goes to talk to Van Helsing, who chases monsters, including obviously vampires, would know a lot about werewolves too, or lichens. And he'd probably give Poe a bit more of an idea of just how it is. So maybe this is the one he meets, or one of the ones he meets along the way, and understands then that maybe, just maybe, he had the wrong idea. And when he sees just how tormented these werewolves are, and how when they do change with the full moon, they completely lose any humanity they had, and they their change is painful and all that kind of thing. I feel like once he sees all that, he's not going to want his beloved to be changed into one. He's going to think, yeah, this isn't the option for us. That's my thoughts on the subject. That goes down there. He's going to fit in there. Need him over. Did I cut that too? No, that's gonna fit. Oh, look at that! I love it. Yes, I do, I do, I do, I do, I do. I think he only just fits the window. So, that's interesting. But it's going to work. We're going to make it work, guys. Now, let's make sure that my glue is working. And today, it seems that at the moment, at least, touch wood, it seems to want to actually work. Now, I'm going to move this. I'm going to bring, sorry for the reach, this over. And I am going to get my brush because I need this as near to the edge, the glue, as possible. Although I probably will stitch. But I cannot have it smearing. So I'm going to use my brush to just make sure there is glue on here, but not too much. And then we're going to glue our Wolfman. I almost wanted to think that maybe he's gone to London. You know, the movie, Werewolf in London. That's just how my brain thinks. I also wonder if Van Helsing would be hanging out in London. Glue has dropped. I don't know. Let's glue this. The story is just forming in my head. I also want to say thank you to all the lovely comments last night. I will, or on yesterday's, I will get round to answering them. I just decided to take a bit of time out to read and that instead. But they were so sweet on saying about, you know, I don't have to push myself if I'm not feeling up to it. And I know that. I absolutely know that. It's not you guys, it's me. I feel the need to make sure that I upload every day. And yes, there's lots going on and that, but I love Creep on June. So I definitely want to be able to make sure that I'm, as much as possible, able to keep up with the schedule, the daily uploading. If I can't, I won't, don't worry. But thank you for all your kind comments. They are much appreciated. Do you know what? This community is so kind and uplifting. And I cannot tell you how many times I read one of your comments and it just cheers me up so much. It brings such a sunshine to my day. It's just so sweet. And when I started this channel quite a few years ago now, it's taken me a long time to even get any kind of momentum on my channel. But when I started this channel, I was just doing it because I was at a difficult point in my life and I decided to say yes and challenge myself to new things, because why not? I was experiencing things that meant I had limitations in other parts of my life, and so I wanted to do something. Oh my goodness, do I love him? Yeah, I wanted to do something that brought me, don't want it this way, that brought me a new challenge, something fun that I was able to do. And I never expected to even get 100 subscribers, let alone now over 4,000. I mean, yeah, I just didn't expect it at all. It was just something I needed to do for myself. And so I just cannot explain enough in words how much your comments mean to me, guys. Like, honestly, they mean the world to me. And yeah, so thank you all for your support, your continued support, whether you're new or old. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to do that. I appreciate it so much. Right, he doesn't seem to want to go on straight, so thankfully I can do this like so. I am wondering if we bring in some of that tape. We don't need it, but I really loved how it looked on the last make. Oh, gosh, I love it so much. The thing is, we are going to put this underneath. This is what I'm thinking, because this is a full moon. And I do want this under here so that if you see, you can see him through the moon, or you can see the moon and the trees kind of in the background. So I've got that one. I also had this one, but you can't see him as well. And there was, where was it? I found one. I think this is too thin, but this is the woods. We would have the orange either side rather than the white. But you would also see him through the woods. No, I like this one. I like it. Now it is slightly too big. But that's okay. We're going to cut it down. So yes. So thank you for that. They do cheer me up. And I know you guys understand and wouldn't mind if I had to take a little break, or if some things were a bit late. It's just me, guys. I love Creep on June, so this is what I want to be able to do. Oh gosh, and I tell you, I think we could have that. I was going to say as a side tuck, which we could do, and we could have it flip open too. Yes, we could. So actually, I could have this whole thing flip open as well, couldn't I? Is that going too far? But I could have the whole thing flip open. Let's just work on this flip first, Belle. Let's do that before we start thinking about other things. So, I want to flip, but if I want a possible side tuck, actually a side tuck would work better that way. Thinking about it, yes it would. We've got this. Yep. Okay, let's get this glued on here. So anyway, yes. So thank you for your comments. I will reply to them. I just was giving myself a little bit of a break. And I did treat myself to a couple of new books yesterday. And one of them is a middle grade book, but it's by an author who I love her work. She mainly does, well, she has up until this point only done books for adults, and this is her, where is my, you know what I mean, there it is. This is her first children's book. And I thought it was out next month, because I tend to keep a list of what books are coming out from authors I love. And I thought this was out next month. But when I went into the bookshop yesterday, because when I'm not feeling my best, book shopping, just, that's where I like to be. And when I went into the bookshop yesterday, I saw that book. I should have done it that way. Oh, what a waste of tea-dyed paper. Do you know what? It's okay. My partner has a few days off soon. And do you know what? He's so sweet. He always... I start the dyeing process and he actually then dries them for me so that I don't have to. He's so sweet. He really is. Because he's always like... You enjoy the crafting more, Belle, so you just take the time. I've got some time off. It doesn't bother me to sit here and kind of help them along, help them dry and things. I'm just like, oh, thank you so much. So anyway, yes, I didn't think it was out yet. And it is in the style of her adult books. If you watch my monthly reading wrap-ups, you will see it in there in my next month's one. Because I started it when I got home. I just wanted, actually, I started it in the car on the way home. And I will have to say that I immediately got sucked in. So I was like, okay, I need to have an early night. And actually, I really want to go to bed and read my book. Honestly, when I am... not feeling my best, or everything, and my brain needs a little bit of rest. I love reaching for a middle grade book. There are so many amazing ones out there at the moment. And so, yeah, I just love reaching for them. And this one has me hooked. I mean, it's a murder mystery. How could it not? Again, if you're new here, hello, welcome. I don't just craft, I love to read. And I particularly love to read murder mysteries. So I was very excited. I mean, middle grade books are usually quick reads anyway, so I'm already halfway through, and it's about 450 pages. But I'm like, oh, I'm loving it. So that's good. Need this here. Now, what I'm thinking is, you know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking magnet. Now, realistically, I should have put the magnet under there, but I didn't. And that is okay. Also, I think I might want to stitch around this, but it's underneath here, so I don't know. I'm debating. And where's my magnets gone? Yeah, we definitely need a magnet. And then this is going to be a side tuck this way. So that's good because the magnet can go at the end here. Yep. Do I want to stitch around it? I do. So let me go stitch around this. So I stitched around this one, and then I also took him to my machine and stitched around him, even though he's glued well, because the aperture's slightly bigger, so it's really, I had very little of the acetate either side of the aperture. I thought stitching it would really help that. So let's add a magnet. We only need a little one today. So yes, that's what I did. I treated myself to a couple of books, and then I spent last night reading one of them. The whole point of books, isn't it? To read them. So I'm going to put this on here. Now, obviously, this is on top of the tea stain paper. But fear not, my friends. We're going to come in, I think, with a little bit of map, because this map is orange in colour. Well, it's brown, really. But I feel like this is going to work really well with the colours of the rest. And this is vintage map page. Would have really helped if I'd done that on the other bit, wouldn't it? Let's get this straight. So you will see that coming up in June's reading wrap up. Yes, having a lot of fun with it. I don't even know. You're supposed to try and work out the mystery. My brain at the moment is in a space where I don't even want to try and work out the mystery. I'm literally just enjoying it for what it is. And that's what matters. Where is my ink pad? Where is my ink pad? I keep moving things all over the place. And now I can't find... There it is. It's where the glue should be. Seriously. Every creep on June, things like this happen where things go missing. I lost day 6's, the Dr. Frankenstein. It took me ages to find it. And I was thinking, but I tidied up because I like to tidy in between each make. I can't work in a messy workspace. It just does not work for my brain because I can't get creative when it's messy, because that's all my brain can focus on is there is mess, there is mess, there is mess. So I tidy up each time, and I thought, where could it be? And then I remembered I'd put it over to the side for the gloss to dry on the candles. It's like, oh, okay. That makes sense. But yeah, this happened last Creep on June. And I know quite a few of you who took part in last year's Creep on June said the same thing, that you had strange and wonderful things happening Oh, why am I doing that? I need to do this first. Let's just roughly put that down. It should go about here. That's too high. Needs to come down. Yeah. Okay. I'm pressing that down so I can see where that goes. Okay. That, yes, you guys had strange and wonderful things happening as well. I am just going to grab a little bit of washi. We were all saying that the ghosts of Craftly Hall had crept into our craft rooms and messed about with things. So I don't know what it is in this one, but I'm not surprised that there's some little bit of strangeness going on. Right, okay. Now I'm going to hold the side that I know I want to be the tuck, and now I'm going to reapply the glue. That would help, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. So that is good, 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 good. And now we're going to let those magnets meet themselves. And that's when we can then press all of this down. I'll slowly open this up so that I can press this. Yep, 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 yep. What did I have? I had a stamp with a moon on it. I might have to find that again. Right, perfect. So that means we now have a side tuck just here. And also we see our beautiful monster. Oh, with the moon behind him. Oh. Behave, Belle. I love it so much. Okay, and now I'm wondering if I want to come on, I could even use this as a little pocket next to him. That would work. So that is what I think I am going to do. So I'm definitely going to do a pocket, and I've backed this little piece, and that's going to go there. You can see I've rounded the corners and inked it. However, before we do that, I want to try something. Now this could go horribly wrong, but I want to almost do, you know, like slashes, as if claws have slashed the piece. I'll do it. I think I want it here because I don't want to make this unstable. So I want to do that. And then what I'm going to have to come in and do is kind of, I don't really know what I'm doing here, but open these up a little bit so that they look more ripped and torn with the slashes. So I'm going to do that to all three of these. Okay, so I'm sure there might be a better way to do it, but you know what? I'm not mad at it. I also glued some of the bits down, and on the pocket itself, you'll see that. But what I want to bring in is a little bit of this Daler Rowney Crimson paint, acrylic paint. I don't quite know how I'm going to do this. So what I'm going to do is I might just dip a little paintbrush into the paint. This might give me more control. And I just want to come in and kind of do a little bit of red along here too. I also inked along it, but yeah, just a little bit. Like so. Does not have to be perfect. Like so. Okay, I think that's okay. I do think that's okay. And now what I might want to do is actually stitch this onto here. Yeah, I think I might stitch this. Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to go and do that. So that has now been stitched on there. I also wanted to show you that I had got some index card and some of this paper that I've got that's got texture on it. It's going to come in with some Art Alchemy gilding paste to bring in some of that. There we go. It's the vintage gold Art Alchemy one. Now that is going to go into here and just pop out. And I also backed that paper again with some book page and inked around it, just in case you do see it, because you could have it poking out even more and put an eyelet in there. So that's something I will think about. And now we've got this. Now I want to bring in some decoration because we haven't got any decoration yet. So I want to bring in lots of leaves and things because I feel like he's out in the woods. So leaves and things work best, I think. I do wonder if I want something down here. If I do, I can do that later. I was also wondering about even bringing in some up there. So maybe I do them over this side and then we can have some up there as well. Let's do that. And I'm going to come in and ink a load of these. Excuse me, stretching again. I'm going to put some book page on a load of these as well, just to give them that added interest. So like that. We want to come in with some different coloured ones. Oh, love these. I am definitely going to have to cut some more foliage out of this. And we are going to splatter. I just love that with the moon behind him. You lift it up, or you can have him without the moon. But I just love it with the moon behind him. It looks like the top of his head. Ooh. Anyway, don't get distracted, Belle. Focus. I love that pocket too. It's so simple, but yeah. So Poe's definitely gone to check this out and find out if this would be a way for his beloved to come back to him. Obviously, he's going to find out that actually with lichens that you need to still be alive for this to happen anyway. But also he's going to discover that realistically, this is not something you would put someone you love through because it's so painful. And as I said, I'm going to have to ink those up. You would lose your humanity and, you know, oh my gosh, I've just realised I haven't inked around any of these. Who am I and what have I done with myself? Okay, well, I can come on and do the edges of this, but not those edges. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just remember for the others. Were you shouting it out? Were you saying, Belle, you're not inking? What are you doing? Yeah, I'll get some of this on there too. Oh, I love it so much. I haven't used transparency for a few days, so it was time to pull it out again. Because that's what we need, more of them. Right, okay, let's do this. I think I may also have to create some more inked papers. I have whole ones left, but I might want to use them for tags and things in the journal. So I actually, that could come down lower. So I was wondering about making some more. The thing is, it's never going to be the same because obviously you're playing with inks and sprays and things. And you'll make one you love and then it'll be like, oh, I can't recreate it. But that's okay. Love it. I really want to bring in one of these branches too. Because, you know, he's in the woods. Is it overkill? Is it too much? Is there any such thing as too much? I know I ask you guys that a lot. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Actually, we're going to glue it down first. That's what we're going to do. Because where I have to cut it, I may actually lose some of it. And that's okay too. So, these orange ones in particular, I don't think I have more than one scrap of it left. Of the papers I made. So I definitely need to make some more of these. This is using mainly the rusty hinge and black soot, I think. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, definitely in the foliage. That's going to cut across there. Yeah. Okay. But that's all right because I'll still use that. And now. Also got this leaf. Haven't got one like this on here yet. What do I want? Do I want a word across there? That's what I'm wondering. Everything needs to stick. Yeah, we need something here. It's just, it feels, this space feels empty. So I need something there. So I'm just going to do this. It's going to be so much inking to have to do off. Off the sides. Okay, like so. And I did think about coming down here with some too, just to bring it in from the other side. Possibly. Just having a look at what I've pulled out. There are some secrets which that's too much. I don't like that. Okay, let's have a look. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams. I was going to cut this bit off and then have the moon never beams without bringing me dreams. Because, you know, the werewolf. And I'm guessing, I'm just guessing, that as the moon gets fuller and fuller, that the wolf begins to, or the person who changes into the wolf starts to have nightmares and dreams and things like that. So that's what I think. I'm going to do that. And then this can go down here like this. Like so. That's going to go there, and then this bit's going to go up the top, I think. So, or, because I was going to put it up there, but we could put it under here. We would see it slightly, but not if I put it over to the side. Okay. Or we could put this on here, like so, for the moon never beams without bringing me dreams on the inside there. Let's do that. Yes, we're going to do that. So that's going to work. The poor lichen. Right, let's make sure I actually pick up the right word. Like, actually what we could do is do this. Okay, good, good, good. And then we are going to splatter, I think. We definitely need black splatter on here. Like so. Okay, brilliant. So that is behind the writing. And I wonder if we bring in a little bit of the grunge here. Just along the bottom here. Yep. Let me pull at this a little bit because we know we like it super grungy. So that could be there. Could bring it up. Okay, we'll bring it up. And as always, I'm going to stitch it on. I just find it holds better and I like the effect. Okay guys, there we go. I actually added some black thread behind it as well. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams. Perfect. And we still have to work out, I might leave quite a lot of that hanging. Reminds me of wolf hair, really. Still wondering about bringing in some of these over here. Like so. I don't know about that. What I do know is I want to splatter, and I am going to cover this because I don't want it completely on his face. So let me just get my splatter. Okay, so I've got my Winsor Newton black ink. I'm not going to use my splatter brush. I'm just going to use a little brush, which obviously has gone on the moon bit. Great. I will have to write that on. This is why you need to be more careful, Belle. And why I should have covered up the words. I'm getting loads on here, but not as much. That's it. Right, and we also want just a little bit up there. Okay, perfect. Let's put the lid on that because knowing me, I'm likely to, what's the word? Drop it everywhere. Okay, and I'm thinking of bringing on a little bit of gold because I have the Winsor Newton in this gold. I was gifted this, so I don't know. It's quite an old one, so I don't know how it's going to splatter, if I'm honest. So what I'm going to, oh my gosh, it's all gloopy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it here and see what I think. I mean, it's all right. It's just going to give a little glint of something. Now, realistically, I could cut out another one of those that says moon and put it over the top. So I'm not worried. See, there's always a way. I could write it on with white paint. I could put another one over the top. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to dry this, but very carefully so as not to buckle the acetate. So the splatter has dried, and can you see that gold? Is it picking up? I can't see if on the camera it is or not. There it is. But can you see that gold? Just, oh, honestly, in real life, guys, that's just a little bit of gold is perfect. So then I thought we need a tag. And as I was saying, Poe has it in his head that these werewolves, these lycanthropes, are, you know, still got a lot of humanity. So I found this little image in the kit. Look at him. a rose by any other name, blah, 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 spouting poetry in his, look at his little stripy trousers and boots. I mean, perfect outfit. But this is what Poe thinks a wolf should be like. I've already backed that. So he's going to go on here. But this is the reality of the wolf. That's what I think. Anyway, I think that's quite good. And obviously we've got our tuck spot here. And this flips open. Oh, it flips open that way. I am wondering, I have a stamp set. Hold on. I have a wolf stamp set. And I was wondering about coming in and doing like a wolf on here. So I might do that. And this stamp set is the Stamperia Cosmo stamps. And what's this one called? I'm not sure. But here's the number. Can you see that? This number. So that's what it is. Let's see if we can get this impression. And because I don't want to be messing about on here, as in I don't want a bad impression on there, I want to firstly stick. Gosh, I haven't used these in so long. And I'm using the, again, Vintage Sepia Art Alchemy. Okay, that's a kind of good impression. I'm using the Art Alchemy one, the Vintage Sepia Versifine. Versifine? Yeah, Versifine. Because I want this to be able to be written over rather than doing it in black. This just does not want to behave. So, it's another stamp set I have to clean. Gosh, it's so annoying, don't you think, when you just want to craft and you realise that you put things away wrong last time. So now, love it! And I'm wondering about coming in now, because I've got the moon, whether we just do a little bit of the moon over there. Will this stick on? Just a little bit. Right, we need to put this under here. Actually, let's take him out because he's got a eyelet in him. Just a little bit of the moon. The wolf howling at the moon. Howling at the moon. Actually, what else we need to do is just up here. That's it. Okay. Howling at the moon. Woo. So let's see how that looks. I love it. What do we think? And it's just a little bit of something extra to the piece. Now what I might want to do is, I know, do I really want to? I've got this gate again that I used on the last one, and I think it kind of goes because I still feel like there's not enough. It's not as decorated as I would like it, because more is more here at Bellaboo Creations. So I'm going to put the fence. It's been embossed in black, well, black sparkle, funny enough. It was just in my stash, so I didn't do it specially, the black sparkle, for this, but I feel like it works because of the moonlight. Maybe something's picking up on the moonlight. I also had some bats. I didn't know about bringing in bats. I know we're doing werewolves, not vampires, but a bat always, you know, just adds, doesn't it? It's just fun if I can actually get it to stick. That's always just fun. So, do I want, oh my goodness me, do I want some bats on here too? I don't know if I do. If I do, if I want to add more, I will. That's the thing. These are basically finished. But I might want to come in with some crypt paste. We haven't used it yet. Again, who am I? So I think I'm going to come in with a little bit. Because as I said, it just feels in places like it's not completely finished. So I'm just going to come in with a little bit in places. And if you haven't seen me use this before, it's very grey now. But firstly, it will pick up any colour underneath. And secondly, it dries like a clear greeny kind of colour, I want to say. So it just adds a little bit more of a fun texture and grunginess to a piece that I want. So I think we'll do that there. Yeah, it goes more this kind of colour. Hold on, can you see? It goes more this kind of colour, but we'll also pick up any anything underneath it, any inks. Okay, so that will have to dry, but I need to get this video edited and up, so I'll show you it dry tomorrow. I gave it a quick blast with the heat tool, but obviously again acetate, so I can't really. So we have, well, we have for me what's going to be one of these kind of pockets, a top pocket. So that'll be fun, especially depending what you're going to put under it. And then obviously this lifts up. This we have our acetate. Oh, I just love it. We have our little bit here that opens up with some writing space. We have our wolf howling at the moon. We have a side tuck here. And then in here we have this tag, this little pocket tag. I was debating whether or not to make this whole thing lift up, but I think we'll save that for another project. If you wanted to, depending on the type of journal, you could even have this, guys, as a belly band so that it goes top and bottom. It can go in the middle of your page, which I think would also be fun. Maybe I'll use it like that in a journal. If you really wanted to, you could make it as a bottom pocket. Obviously, you'd have this bit sticking out the bottom of your journal. But that might be fun to put some dangles on it in your journal. So there are different ways you can put this on your page. Either way, that is day 7 and our first visit to the werewolves. Oh! So, yeah, this is what Poe thinks they're like. This is more realistic. Actually, there's one later in the kit that's much more realistic, and we're probably going to be using that at some point. I absolutely love it. I love how that gold just catches. I should have probably used silver because of moonlight, but I think the gold works just as well. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, comment and share if you haven't already. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. And don't forget to head over to today's collaborator, creator in this collaboration, and also subscribe to them. And I'll be back again soon with another video and another place for Poe to travel and another monster that he may be meeting. But until next time, guys, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots and lots of wolfish, crafty fun. Bye for now.